Hello, Internet. This is me losing my hair. So I'm gonna be back shortly, and there's gonna be less of it, okay?
You saying all the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, loud run my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, faster than my bullet.
It's gone! Where did all your hair go, Rob? It's smooth. Welcome to the Cancer Chronicle. My name is Rob DelFranco, and this show is me entertaining and learning you some knowledge on a semi-regular basis. I'd like to begin with the obvious fact. My head is shaved. I'd been growing my hair out since about March, but it hit me on about Sunday that it was coming out again, falling into the pillow. And just... I don't want the whole bald is beautiful thing. Not that I don't appreciate it. I do, really. I mean, it's just... I like my hair. I have a big head. I know it's not bad with the bald, but I want hair. Make sense? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Moving on to the world of entertainment. For those of you who have never heard of John Mulaney, I would suggest getting Spotify and or iTunes. John Mulaney is an incredibly funny stand-up comedian who, along with Bill Hader, is responsible for the character Stefan on SNL. On Weekend Update makes me cry laughing every time. His new album, New in Town, very funny stuff. You could watch it on Comedy Central, a bunch of different things. Just pointing it out, if you're looking for something new to listen to, definitely one thing I would go watch. There you go. We finally have questions. Alright. First one comes from my last video on the whole liver diabetes thing. So I'm going to try and put it basically as possible. I was on a steroid called dexamethasone and a chemo drug called pegylated L-asparaginase. We're going to call them two bullies named Dexter and Peggy. Now, Dexter makes me crazy. I have crazy dreams, really vivid ones, like having awesome parties, or really scary ones, not remembering things. I don't, it's weird. Like, Dexter makes my brain go nutso. And then, coming off of Dexter, which is what I'm doing right now, it's like drug withdrawal. You're feeling joint pain. Oh, everything is bad in the world, and I want to hurt things. I'm less chipper. I'm less happy off of right now, but hopefully that doesn't last too long. Now, normally Peggy is mean. I can agree with that one. Peggy makes me tired, angry, no energy. I don't like Peggy. But when Peggy hangs out with Dexter, it's the equivalent of someone doing, let's play 52 pickup, and then lighting the house on fire. Peggy and Dexter basically made my liver unable to do its normal routine with blood filtering. So I had to watch what I ate, had to take insulin, blood sugar levels, all those things. Currently, I'm off both, so things are returning to normal, but, still diet and exercise are very important, so I have to watch out for those and everything, but at least I can go back to eating a sandwich if I want to eat a sandwich. Next question, I'm kind of combining from my friends Danny and Evan. When I was diagnosed, did any thoughts of dying go through my head, as well as has going through this changed what I wanted to do with my life? Cancer really does put life into perspective, I guess. When I was first diagnosed, I was numb to it. My mind just couldn't really connect the whole situation. I did not have cancer. There was no. I kept calling it super mono. It was the closest thing I had. 2 weeks, I think it took for me to finally realize I actually had cancer. I think that was the scary day. That was like, I just broke down. I was just like in a ball. I couldn't even understand it. I had a life-threatening disease, and that's a frightening thought. But the next morning, I woke up and had a completely different life plan. It was just night and day. And I'm here to share that. Why complain? In our society, we do complain. And I understand that. I'm not saying don't ever complain. But find things in life to only have a negative or only complain about those things seems to be counterproductive. Yes, work today may have sucked. Yes, someone at school may have been mean to you. But you're still alive. You're not dying. I'm not trying to make you feel bad by saying that, but I mean, think about it. You're not... You can still live. You can do anything you want. Find a good book. Explore a new part of town. Learn a new language. Get a new hobby. The day I woke up with this new realization, I started making a list. It was a new travel list. I've always wanted to see the world, and that's a completely understandable thing. I need to experience the world. I started taking Mandarin after this day. I started learning new things in my kitchen on how to cook food and trying different foods because I hadn't yet. I'm now learning new tastes. I want to see worlds and cultures and societies and experience things that I've never had the opportunity to do before. Life's too short. Why not try and experience it all? This has been Zen with Rob. Before I sign off today, I'd really like to talk about one really significant subject. Cancer is something I would only wish upon the worst of people. I'd never allow someone to suffer for me. Not even for a second. I can handle this, and I know if I ever need any support, I have people who watch these videos, people out there who are supporting me, and I totally thank you for all of that. With acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a lot of things can go wrong, but where everything could go wrong in my situation, it hasn't, and I'm lucky. But I can handle it if anything goes bad. Those of you at Penn State are already aware, but those of you who aren't, there is a beautiful and wonderful young girl named Emily Whitehead. She's 6 years old, who was diagnosed with ALL back in May of 2010, and she relapsed in October last year, and then just this past February. She's 6. I'm 19. I have bad days. She's 6. It's not even fair. I've seen her videos on YouTube that her mom's post. I've seen her blog. I've seen articles on her. This girl's an inspiration, and as a fellow Thon kid, we stick together. I mean, it's just, how everything works. But it seems things have taken a turn for the worse, I guess. I don't want to call it that, but there seems to have been some complications with an experimental therapy that happened this past week. I'm not a religious man in any sense of the word, but there's been a Twitter trend called Praying for M. If you guys can go on Twitter and just keep retweeting it, anything for this girl, really. I just want to try and help her out as much as I can. I can't do anything really, but try and just continue having support for her, I guess. Just retweet or tweet it yourselves. That's all I can ask. Thank you so much. I keep saying I'm going to make these videos more happy and upbeat, but apparently that's just not going to happen. Hopefully it'll happen soon when I, start learning the ropes to this a little bit more. But as of now, I'll try and just keep thinking of ideas for the next videos. Please like and subscribe if you can. Share the video on Facebook and Twitter. This has been the CC. My name's Rob DelFranco, and I will see you next time.